Oh, there we go. Hey, so I just finished my match of the 2015 Creator Invitational with Clossius. I casted it. That video is now up on YouTube. I'm still a little bit out of breath because I'm not in shape and because it was a really tense match with not a lot of time and kind of nerve-wracking. I won't lie, it was pretty nerve-wracking. But doing good now. So I just wanted to do a review for those of you who wanted more overall viewing and less just crazy shouting and casting. Okay, so I opened 2 star points. You don't see this opening much anymore because usually white will play d16, and at a professional level, black hasn't been able to overcome Komi in this opening usually, although I have a special strategy. I like to play c11, but that's for another time. Clossius played d17, and I have a special strategy against this opening too. I usually play this approach, and then white often will approach here to put pressure on these 2 stones, but I like to play this approach because it gives a lot of sabaki options for c9 to use against c9. So my 2 stones up here are not so weak, and that's why I like to play it. I've actually played Clossius with this opening before, but I lost that game. But I managed to win this one, which was fortunate. So he plays here. If white plays low, then it's probably a little hard for him to use c9. I can just pressure it this way. Maybe connect. Probably connect. But now he has to run, and it's not such a great shape for white. Well, black can settle on both sides, and it feels kind of like black is gaining some fast development. White took points, but white can't really make more points on the rest of the board, and there's still a weakness at c3. So this is my plan. I'm trying to move around the board quickly. That's why I played 2 4-4 points instead of 3-4 points, and that's why I'm playing this kind of tricky c6 type of move. So I invaded. The idea is I can give up these, or I could take the corner, or I can give up this and develop on the outside. Both are fine by me. I just wanted to probe white's response. I feel like maybe I should have played e3 though, and it might have been led to a easier game for me, because now I can just play here and I can still develop into the center, and white is still not so solid, and now I still have the aji to make life in the corner later. So this might have been a better way to play. I haven't played this opening in a very long time, but I really do like it. I have to figure out... I actually took this from a book that I've been reading for a while, I read it a few months ago. But the book is a little... It doesn't cover the variation where white kicks here. It just explains the idea. So I was following along with the idea to take the corner. I think that would have been a better development for me. So in the game I was talking about this move. Even though it worked basically how I planned, to give up the corner to build strength, to take the stone, white does get 20 points or so, but I felt it was okay. I felt this wasn't so good for me, because white can approach here next and develop a very strong bottom position. I thought maybe because I have this aji later, it's okay because I get the endgame, but I really don't like this for black too much. It's too big a sacrifice. But I got lucky. White played a very slow move here. I think it's slow. It opens up some aji for c9, but getting o3 negates white's whole wall. So I made up my loss in the bottom left. White approaches. I backed off here. You could consider pincering, but I didn't really want to face the double approach. There's no reason why like this is why I shouldn't play this. But I also didn't really like giving white 3 corners. Even though I'm playing a fast opening, it feels like even if I play here, this shoulder hit is perfect for reducing the right hand side. And it's really hard to play something here because the corner is still open. So I felt it was hard to develop the right, even if I get this wall. You could be asking, why didn't I play a higher pincer? That makes it easier to develop. But the thing is, after this Joseki, there is, let's say enclosed, there's actually a lot of aji on the right with this move. And now if I defend the center, then white can basically live on the right hand side. And if I defend the side, aside from there being aji with this wedge, white can run out, probably here. And these stones can be under a pretty severe attack. So that's why I didn't play that way. Oops. I backed off. I planned that if white slid, then I would pincer. And if I played like this, I'd play like this and get the outside. Because this corner is is locked in. It doesn't have ways to escape on the side, so this kind of setup lets me do more, basically. So after this is kind of a Joseki. Whoops, not there. That's not the right Joseki. I'm really tired. I think it's like this, but I have to check. I think I just push. I connect once, push once, and then block here. It's something. I have to check this Joseki. I haven't played it in a long time either. I've been playing kind of these. Actually, for some reason, I've been playing white a lot, so I haven't had a chance to use this much. But anyway, the idea is to develop this large wall. This is a variation that you can use when you don't have the ladder for this one. Alright, this one hits this wall, so I didn't want to use it. Okay, so, but white didn't play here. White surprised me. He played a high splitting move. It's a good idea for getting out on the side, but I think I would prefer this move. Some people dislike this shape for white, but white can play this way and get a solid position on the right. The corner still has aji. There's this peep. There's a peep here, so white can still mess with the corner later too. But he played this high move. I wasn't really sure what to think about it. I put pressure on it from my corner enclosure. This move doesn't really help me develop too much. It helps me develop a bit, but not a lot, because it's still open, basically, which is what we saw in the game. White defended. I feel like if you're going to... I don't like this move when you defend, but I don't know. I took the corner. I felt at this point, if I take this corner, we're pretty even on territory. This corner and this are roughly the same, and this is more potential than this. But black can develop more than white, right? So black can extend here and here, where if white extends, it's possible, but white then loses the option to come into the side, because black will solidify himself against that. Someone on the top, for instance, if white plays here, this move is really severe, because if white tries to break in, then the corner is surrounded. So white would have to come out, and then I don't know about attaching, but maybe just developing like this. The top is looking good. White could break in, but then this is still undercut on both sides, so I felt it was like an okay development for me. Similarly, if white takes the top, then I felt okay because this splits, and then these 3 stones are still not super secure. So if it was like this, then black could jump. Yeah, probably jump and threaten to come in. But then black kind of starts developing a very nice framework, even if there's still some weaknesses. So I take the corner. White played this attachment. I don't really agree with this. There's not... I guess he was afraid I would play R5, but I feel like white should extend here. If I play here, getting both extensions is really pretty okay for white. Like this. It's like, sure, I have this huge corner, but you get two pretty decent extensions. I think this is a better development. If you look at the board as a whole, this top side, there's nothing on the board that is comparable. This corner is about the same as this corner plus the extension. And this top side has this bigger than this corner, and this still has some little bit of troublesome Aji because I never answered the B6 step move. So I was a little surprised that he would choose to invade right away. But I guess he was trying to secure a territory lead after he got the influence on the right, and maybe he felt a little offset by the S16 stone. He thought, oh, black's taking a corner, I should take the last corner, but it seems a little strange to me. Also, the reason I thought this variation was a little weird, this is the normal variation, but after this and this exchange, my stone is perfectly placed as an invasion. It's in the perfect spot for breaking into the right hand side. And usually you don't want to make your opponent's stones into good moves. So for instance, white could have invaded here instead, and it's a little harder for black to deal with. I'd probably jump down, and then white could secure this area. And even if I play here, there's some Aji to connect up. So I don't know, I think it feels a little early to me. Or maybe not early, but then there's better choices too. I was a little surprised. This move is pretty heavy. It's not like black can sacrifice these stones if they get in trouble later. This was the move I originally read, which is why I went along with this variation. I thought white would play there or here, but this one leaves a pretty big weakness. But while I was waiting for Clossius to make his move, I actually thought he might play Q8. And this move is pretty hard to deal with for me. After black crosscuts, I'm not really sure what the best response is. I thought, you know, Atari and then try to get out this way was okay, I guess. But I have to sacrifice a stone. I guess this is okay though. I can live in the side, and there's some Aji here. It's about the same as in the game, I guess. I played here. If I attach right away, I was worried about this move, because normally the follow-up is cross-cutting, and then white extends up. I didn't really want to... it's hard for me to maneuver both sides without losing the meaning of S16. S16 is helping to bridge under, but it's hard to fix these stones. Right, if I play this way, white can put this move in first. And then it seems a little hard to really... I guess I could play here. It's really difficult though, because now these three stones don't have a way to get out, and it's really tough. I was really not sure how to play from here. I mean, yes, there's Aji, but I feel like I'd be giving up a lot just to try to attack these. Which is why I didn't play the attachment. Instead, I played this move to use the S16 Aji. This is fairly common if you see this shape, to make an invasion here, and then on this side make an invasion here. It's a pretty common reduction technique for this kind of shape, and so it's also why this attachment at R4 seems a little questionable to me. This is a pretty severe move. I think the normal move is P12, but he was probably... this is maybe too good for me, so he tried to play more severely. Not really sure, but it doesn't seem like it's a good move for white to me. I thought here he might just block, and then it would become kind of a fight between these two groups. And I guess it's still good for me, but it's not clear. Yeah, I guess I end up winning this race. And at the time I was concerned about it, but I see it seems pretty easy now. So he defends, but then I just link up. There is a ko here, but I felt like white doesn't have that many ko threats. He could play something like this, but those kind of ko threats lose you points, and if this ko played out, he can't win it, right? I just descend, or like you can't actually capture these. So I felt pretty okay with that. I was really surprised by this move. I don't understand. Like, I guess he really wants to take the top, right? The top side, and he's pressuring me. But it's really, you have thickness in the center, right? You don't want to make your opponent strong next to where you're trying to be strong. You want to keep your opponent weak next to your strong area. So when I just extend, it makes his wall a lot more, it makes it lose more value. So I was really confused. But I think he might have been panicking because I took all the territory from his Moyo. I'm not entirely sure. This is a normal exchange and he extends here. And then I just invade. I wanted to keep pressure on these. These are still not that solid. I feel like if I play another move, like jump, white might make this exchange, and then white defends the top. It ends up being pretty good for white, because white can make, even if these exchanges aren't too good, white makes a good formation with the KH17 stone. And I didn't really like that. I think it's probably playable because I have a lot of territory to the right, but it's maybe not. The bottom left territory was something I had to deal with the whole game, like how much I gave white. So I feel like it was a bit of a loss for me to do that. So I played here. This is very aggressive. I don't think it's the right move. It's hard for me to say because I didn't play white in the game. But this move caught me really off guard because this is like a real attacking move. But white is not that strong. You know, white has some thickness on the right, so that protects the cut. But I feel like it's still not that strong. Also, if white wants to attack, the proper order should be like this, to make some forcing moves there and then attack. Playing this right away made it very clear. Made it not clear, but made it very easy for me to handle H17 since white didn't get these exchanges in. I just attached. I considered jumping with a knight's move because I didn't want white solidifying this area too much, but this Tesuji is really hard to deal with. If I just extend, my shape becomes pretty hurt. And then white can maybe try to seal something off. Not sure. Or this attachment is annoying. Or white will lean. It just kills the eye shape, kind of. There are other responses to this move, like here, but in this case they don't really work out because white just pushes up. And if I go on this side, it feels like white got a pretty good position. Also, white could cut. I actually can't kill this stone because of these Ataris. And similarly on the other side, if I go the other way, he just captures the stone. So I didn't play that move, I just attached, and I cross-cut. This is a really common sabaki technique. Normally it's pretty good for black to extend, but in this case black has a really solid position in the upper left, and after white connects, white has a nice, white has pretty good control of the center. So I cross-cut to make sabaki instead. White defends, and I defend. Now, because this cut is here, it leaves more pressure on his top group for later. He extended, which is fine. I got maybe a little over-eager, but seeing how the game turned out, I feel like it might have been okay. This was meant to put pressure on the top and trying to stay access into the center, keep access to the center. And also, because I'm supporting the J14 stone, these two stones are still not completely safe, which means that my upper left stones have some play against them to try to get out into the center. This was really the only point I could see to try to make life. I can't really run out without him cutting me. If I do this, he just pushes through, and I'm very sad. Like, I guess this is okay, since I take the corner. At the time, I wasn't sure if I could kill the corner, but I was a little bit under pressure at the time. Maybe there's a better move though. I'm not. I guess it was okay for me to play this way. Um, but even in playing that way, it makes his 2 stones strong, and now my 2 cutting moves lose all their meaning. But maybe it was okay. The corner is really big, but I didn't want to I didn't want to waste the meaning on these moves, so I played here to stay connected. I probed here once. Otherwise, white can play J18, and I'm almost dead. This move surprised me a little. I guess he's trying to make better shape, but I feel like L17 is more solid and is actually better shape. I don't know. I live after this move. And then he jumps here. I was really surprised. He's trying to eat these 2 stones on a large scale, but this has a lot of weaknesses, like these cuts and this cut, so I was a little surprised. I also thought he would back off a bit, so I could push out here and then try to, like, if he just keeps extending, I'm totally fine at capturing these, and if he does something like this, I wasn't sure, but I felt like this wedge and this cut combination after some reduction here could be pretty vital or difficult. In any case, I wanted to see what he would do here, and if he did this, maybe I would, like, jump or something, you know, because if these 2 stones get solid, these white stones on the left here have a lot of cutting weaknesses also. So I was really felt like white, even though in terms of points the game was still close because white has a lot of potential, I felt like white also had a lot of weaknesses, so it was hard for him to manage. This totally caught me off guard. I didn't know what he was going to do here, because after this the ladder works. I thought he would connect, and then I connect, and then he goes here, and then I, like, pressure the right side, the wall, because the wall is not that strong. I thought this was probably how the game would flow, and if both of these groups live, then black is ahead on territory, and it's a pretty easy game. But white pushed, but the ladder is good for me, so I was really surprised that he played this way. He has to defend this, but I get to capture these 2 stones in the Sente, and then I pressure the wall. So I got a better result, and I got to pressure the wall. White runs. This move was, I thought that I was a move short to capture the RR14 stone. I read it too quickly, so I wanted to make sure that I had enough liberties. And this move becomes a peep, but he had a pretty strong response. This is a really good response because it prevents me from cutting. If I cut, he can start going after this group, and it's hard for me to really get compensation for that, even if by attacking the bottom group. So I played this knight's move. It threatens to pull this stone out. It also helps me run out with this group and make shape, so I thought it was good. I know he's trying to cover this move, but it also feels a little bit like helping me, and it's a little over-concentrated. At the same time, the white doesn't have great shape, so it's hard to say. This Hane feels like it's helping me. I feel like he should just extend. I thought he also might Tenuki, like, you know, play here. And then even if I do something here, it's not like the end of the world. He can take an extension. This group feels pretty alive to me. Or maybe I can play here, would be ideal, if my center group is alive enough. Even just extending seems okay. Now I come back and attack this top group, maybe, or take the bottom. I was really surprised he played that. It's a really strong type of move, but it also feels, I guess he really wanted to make this cutting weakness. But when I get this stone here, this top group is still not alive, so I'm aiming at the cutting. I could play a more defensive move, but this move is farther away from the top group, so I was more worried about whether this kind of cut could be successful. So I played here. White took a very big point. He was probably eyeing this area for a long time, but this is really severe and difficult for white to deal with. He also played these moves. So he basically Tenuki twice from this group, and I guess he thought it was alive, and he wanted to develop the bottom, but after I take, and after these exchanges, his group is in a lot of trouble. Although, at this point, I think I should have made a small change of move order by pushing here. I wasn't sure if this was... Yeah, so like if it's like this, it's hard to kill this eye, which is what I was worried about. Right, this kind of thing. But even after he connects, if I descend, he can cut me. I can connect here. Maybe I can't. This was what I was really worried about when we were playing. I thought I messed up by taking too early, but maybe it was fine. I'm not sure. Even after this, I played this way. I thought he would just like defend, and then I had to make some sort of play to kill this eye. Right? I was like, I don't really know how to make this work. So I thought I could throw in here and then play here to keep the pressure up, but white could also just like, you know, hane and then push and connect me, or connect. It's hard to kill this cleanly. So I thought it would end up living, but at least I got profit at the top and I could take something to invade the bottom was what I was thinking. But he played this really aggressive cut. But I looked at the capturing race and I saw that this move at 010 had some Aji left and he still had no eye shape. So I just went for the trade. I thought that it was fine. Because at this point, this exchange is not good either. He just played here. I thought he would like at least try to make an eye. Maybe it's hard to make an eye though. He has to play this in Gote. But at least it's an eye. It's like an eye versus an eye race, right? So it feels like maybe, you know, it's playable. Like if it's like this, then I can't do anything. So I have to like start feeling liberties in much earlier. Yeah, this is kind of hard. If I go here, he goes here. You know, it's like I'm a liberty short. So I was really worried about this, but he kind of misread me, I guess. I thought maybe also here I could just throw in two, but I wasn't sure if that was the best way to fill the space. I guess this is better. It's about the same, isn't it? At the same time though, I thought maybe I could get this move in. But I wasn't absolutely sure at the time because we were really both short on time at this point. I thought, it doesn't look like it helps my problem though, right? So then I thought, okay, what if I cut here? I was also this whole time looking at this cut and trying to figure out ways to make it work, but it doesn't seem like it can make it work. If it's like this, then I have enough liberties to win the race. So he should push. I go here and then here, and this kind of saves me a liberty. Kinda, not really. It was kind of crazy. Alright, so this is Gote now, and it looks like this is Seki, right? If he goes here, if he just goes here, I can't approach him, and he can't approach me. So it's a Seki. And then I would have continued with this. And I think at this point, he's doing pretty well. I have to really reduce this bottom area to be able to compete. But it feels like White can get a fair amount here. And I think, even though I got the top, it's still a pretty close game. Of course, after these exchanges also, there's a lot of Aji in this corner. Like here. Well, okay, earlier I was looking at this because I could cut off the center. But now, maybe it's even more dangerous. I could maybe try something like this. It's kind of difficult to not lose all your points. And this shape is dead, actually. I'm pretty sure. I guess this is Seki. But you lose a lot of points. White needs another move, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, it looks dead to me. Anyway. So anyway, after this I was able to launch this attack. I felt pretty comfortable. attacking, I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't sure I'd win, but I felt like it was the best option. So I played here. He defended, and I played here. This move, he's trying to gain extra liberties, but I think it's actually quite hard because after this, it's one eye versus no eye, and he can't make enough points. I also thought here, this was a nice move, but he should play here. This way it takes me an extra move to capture, right? So he can go here, go here, he goes here, I take, he goes here, go here, and now, but he's still a move behind, I guess, right? He goes here and I go here, and he can never approach me. Yeah, but I thought it was better than this move, which lets me get 019 anyway, so now I'm a move ahead compared to before. And it's an eye versus no eye, so it was it becomes a clean win. But the game itself was really crazy. It was really crazy. I felt like I really messed up. Even though the opening went basically how I planned it, I felt like after this corner it was hard to come back, kind of. Like, not like it might have been like 5 points, but 5 points is like a move, right? It's like almost Komi, so yeah, it was a very intense game, and he played very well overall, but he made a few questionable moves, so I wasn't sure. Lucky win, maybe. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. The next round of the 2015 Creator Invitational is next weekend, but there is a rescheduled match on Monday, 10 p.m. EST, between Starstorm and Zoo, who are both exceptionally strong players. They're both, I don't know, Starstorm is like 4-dan, and Zoo is... I've played Zoo a few times. I won the first time, and then he beat me all the rest, so he's pretty strong. Maybe 3-4-dan also. It kind of depends on him, though. He varies from day to day, I feel. Anyway, but that should be a really good match. You should tune in. If you know Duirin, he streams at twitch.batsgo. Check him out there. I will probably not be able to cast it, but if I am, I will also be streaming at twitch/Alethea27 and Alethea27. Yeah. Don't worry about that link. Just go watch it on Bat's stream. Bats is a really great commentator, and the game will be really good, I'm sure. Okay, thank you for watching. As always, if you want to share these videos with anyone, that'd be awesome. Or subscribe, or follow me on Twitch. Anything is great, helping the Go scene and the English-speaking Go scene grow. Okay, thank you for watching. Catch you next time.